your safety best right there.
Start getting y'all suited up here. Y'all gotta pull these lovely things around.
Pro shop has the big full bowl. You're reaching for your set. Like that in here. And you're nice set.
Ready, Sophia?
You're reaching for your safety vest right there. And you're welcome. There you go. Yes, sir. And you reach for your safety vest right there. And you're awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Listo, niñas. We'll do Minecraft, Diego. Apúrate, Diego. Sí. Y yo me las llevo si quieres. Van a querer, mira, estando ahí, se van a... De hecho, la sudadera de Sofía, y digo que la puedes meter dentro de tu bolsa.
¿La Sofía se usa en la playa?
No, la otra sudadera. Alright, let's go. No sé, a ver.
¿Cabemos los cuatro aquí?
No sé, ¿dónde?
¿O se quieren ir ustedes dos?
¿Cómo sé?
Yo creo que sí caben.
Sí, que los niños se ven ahí.
Súbete.
Sí.
Yo me tengo con papá.
Ay,
¿Eh? Ok.
Tú súbete y luego yo me subo. Y luego papá se sube.
Pero yo no quepo ahí ya, mi amor.
Ay, no, pues.
¿Eh? No, ya no quepo. Voy atrás.
¿En dónde?
Pues no sé. ¿Aquí?
Ahí, pues sí.
¿Sí?
Yo digo que sí cabe, pues.
¿Sí? ¿Eh? ¿Sí?
Para enfrente.
Pues me voy para allá. Bueno, y él a nadar.
Okay, looks like everybody can see the queen, right? We're good. Nobody's looking into the clouds? Okay, they started mining here in Bisbee in about 1877, okay? You see above that door it says Queen 1915, so there's a little bit of time frame between the start of mining and when they opened up the Queen mine here. Now, what this main route was called a haulage route. What I mean by that is haul, H-A-U-L. They hauled men, ore, tools, in and out at a ground level so they could make it more efficient and get it out instead of having to go through the side of the mountain. Now, we're going to go in on the third level. We're going to stay on the third level. When we're going to start our tour, we're going to go to about the 1,500 foot mark straight in. Now, we're still going to be about 450 to 500 feet below rock once we make our stop in there. Our first stop when we go in is going to be 150 feet, okay? The reason we're going to stop there is we're going to let our eyes adjust. We're also going to make sure that you're comfortable, because that's usually about the time if somebody decides they don't want to go on the tour, that's about it. Sometimes it happens. Now, if at any point in time you're not comfortable, let us know. We'll get you out, we'll get you back in, get you a full refund. So we're going to make another stop at an air door. Stay on the train. As we're going in, if you want to take a look at where we're at, you can shine your light up. You'll see 100, 200, 300, every 100 feet. It'll tell you we're going to go up to 1,500 feet when we get started. Now, when you hear that bell ring, it means the train's about to move, okay? Kind of hang on. They are vintage.
Okay.
They are a little older. Sometimes it starts off a little rough. Now, one quick question. Are we ready to go?
Oh,
We can do better than that.
Can I move up over there?
What's that?
Can I move up with my wife? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to move up here.
Exactly. No.
Okay, now one more time. We ready to go?
Yes.
There we go. That's
Okay. Ya lo hiciste una vez y no te pasó nada.
Amor, aquí está, no pasa nada. No pasa nada.
Okay, now remember, you hear this bell, we're going to move.
Moving.
You're okay.
our tour. We're going to go a little farther than that today. We look like a good bunch. We can go even farther than this. Okay, now, as you look around in here, you're going to notice some black on the rock. The sides are technically called your ribs. The top is called your back. And your floor is going to be called your bottom. If we look around in here, we're going to see the black on there. It's soot. 1943, they decommissioned the Queen Mine. Started using it for underground mine fire training. We're not going to see a lot of wood right this minute, but as we go in farther in, you're going to start seeing more wood. The problem with underground fires that scared the miners the most was the swirling, the natural ventilations that were done to keep the oxygen up. You didn't know if you were walking into the smoke or walking away from it. So these guys were highly trained to help get them out safe. Like I said, they were called the helmet crew. They wore great big helmets when they walked in so they could breathe. Now, the Queen Mine itself is 7 levels. We've got 2 below us, 4 above us, 100 feet between each level. 149 miles of underground track and tunnel. Now, if we take the other 28 mines into play, we're looking at 2,200 miles of underground track and tunnel just in Bisbee alone, which is still one of the largest underground hard rock mines in the world, okay? Now, the open pit started in about 1950. That started out underground as well, all right? But they opened that up in about 1950. They mined here until 1975. Now, when we go up here, you're gonna see that red exit sign when we go past it. On your left-hand side is a bit of Bisbee history. It is the only hand-dug at candlelight Copper Queen shaft. Goes down 270 feet. They did it with candles and hand tools. Took them 2 years, okay? When we go by it, I'll go by it slow. Take a look to your left. A great place to get your photo started. Little piece of history begins right there. Okay, is everybody feeling pretty good? Ready to go? Okay, let's go for a little tour.
Okay.
David!
Is cigars to the Copper Queen? Oh, I'm sure it's got notes in here. No, you cannot. You still lost it.
Diego, you cold?
Ese me da. Hicieron una mano.
You see that card go straight up?
Que la gente trabajaba en esas condiciones, ¿verdad? Abriendo puerta. ¿Qué hizo?
He's like swimming like that.
Se abrió la puerta.
concentrate on your left. Once this group gets past you, you're going to go ahead and pivot this way. Let's pivot this way. Come on down, use your lights in front of you to see where you're going. Make sure you take a look. There's uneven surfaces and tracks. Once we get past you here,
Where are we going? We're once they pass, we're in the get off and go down.
¿Te quieres ir para
Espérate.
a donde están ellos?
¿Qué?
Pues donde estaban ellos.
No, pues,
Yeah.
No,
no,
¿verdad?
pues no vamos a ir para allá.
Front and back.
Ah, everybody's doing it?
Yeah, everyone.
Oh.
So, eso es ¿Cómo subió tu mamá aquí ahora?
This was the home.
No, vamos a bajar vamos a caminar para allá.
Oh, so you can do. Use my arm.
Wait, Diego. Okay, you go.
Ahí está. ¿Eh?
And then Sophia.
Wait, Sophie, I go first.
It doesn't matter, Diego.
That's good.
come on down this way. We can put a few people right up in here. Come on up. Come on in right here. You can go right there. Probably put the kids right here. Come on, family. Right in there. Perfect, right there. Okay. Okay, now, one thing, when we're in this, like, we're crammed, go ahead and stand right in here. So if we can, with the lights, when we're in this, kind of keep them pointed down so they aren't getting on people's eyes when we're trying to stand. But I do encourage when we do walk around, shine them around, look at the rocks, look around, see what's going on underneath there. But like I said, when we're in these groups right here, maybe try to keep them down so they aren't in people's eyes. Now, we came in on the Copper Queen, all right? I don't know if you noticed to the right, there was little arrows that said evacuation. Now, I do the safety here as well. I walk it every morning to make sure it's ready to go for the tours. I can tell you that one goes back 800 feet, and I can tell you there's 67 steps. You wind around, you come out near the highway. A lot of cars, somebody gets hit, we're not going that way. There's always got to be two ways in or out of the mine, all right? And that's our second way up, in and out. Now, we're at the junction of three different mines, okay? We're at the Copper Queen, we're at the southwest. We came in on the Copper Queen. Over there is the Copper Prince, all right? The Copper Prince started about 1880, started putting out a lot of copper. Now, this opened in 1915. The purpose of the route on the tour that we're in now is to see how we got the rock, how we got things in and out. Now, when you shine your rock, when you get out of this portion, you can kind of look around. Take a look at the limestone. It's pretty basic in here. When we get to our next stop, there's going to be a lot more minerals, okay? That's where they found most of the copper in the stope. You're going to see a lot more color. Now, how do they make these routes? The route we came in on took about a year to do. They started end to end, they came together, and they met in the middle. About every 5 feet, they blasted. Let's take a look real quick at what we were looking for. Right here, the green is our copper. I'll carry it around. Okay, you can touch it if you want. Yeah. So that green is our copper, okay? This particular rock weighs about 25 pounds. It's got about 9% copper. See that? It's considered, anything over 5% is considered outstanding, okay? Now, most of it, when I say 5%, I mean per 100 pounds, they found 5 pounds of copper. Bisbee was known for its richness anywhere from 5 to 23%. 1% was considered okay. 5% was outstanding. Now, let's take a little look at something that looks kind of nice. Everybody put their light on their chest. Let's darken it up in here a little bit. Okay, what we see here. Now, put your light on your chest. Okay, there we go.
Ooh.
Now we got what they call Bisbee ice. It's going to be calcite and a little bit of copper, a little bit of the malachite, the green. This is in its raw stage too. You could shine this up a little bit, but I like to show it just as it came out of the earth, okay? The green in there is going to be your copper. Just a real low, real grade, but it does give it that color. Okay, now, when you work underground, I've worked underground for many years as well. We worked with the guys, let me jump right here. Okay, the guys that worked underground, the miners. These guys had a nickname, they were called the old grouches. They all were very proud. Now, a couple things they taught me. One of the things when you describe yourself as a miner, you have to work underground at least 5 years, okay? And you gotta be able to know how to do every job underground. Now, if you describe yourself as a miner and you don't meet that criteria, they're gonna walk up to you and they're politely gonna take out their pipe wrench, they're gonna knock out your light. That's called the miner walk of shame. You gotta go get another one, okay? Also, if you're wearing your helmet and you've got your light up in the front like this, the reason why we don't have them on the tours, if it's here, everybody shine them in your eyes. Now, if I was to walk up and talk to the miner and have it shine in their eyes, pipe wrench, out goes the light. These guys are proud. It's their way of teaching you that this is the way, this isn't how a real miner conducts themselves. So there's people that worked in the mine, and then there's the miners, okay? And they were very adamant when they were talking to me about this. Like I said, there's only one of them left that works here. And I've gotten to know all of them real well, so I'm telling their story to you. That's what they'd asked. I said, you got it, okay? So these guys are my buddies. I work on repairs under here as well. I can do most of the jobs that they've done. It's just that these guys were real adamant about getting their story told. Now, one of their stories to be told is this right here. Now, let's all take a guess. What kind of rock do we get? What do we have here? And like I said, there's no wrong answer. It's a rock. 100%. That's 100% right. It's close. Like I said, there's no wrong answer. Pyrite? Fool's gold, correct? What do you think of that, huh? You got it. So, what we have here is what my old grouchy friends call leverite. If you found this rock, you'd want to leave it right there because it's junk. It's not worth nothing. It's pyrite. What the problem is really with that rock is, okay, so that's known as chalcopyrite as well. That rock is combustible at over 350 degrees. It can cause a lot of underground fires and a lot of pain, a lot of trouble. Now, when a lot of that is known in one area, it's called fire country. Because once that light's underground, it's going to stay lit. There's some of those fires burn for many, many, many years, or even if they can put it out at all. Okay, now behind me, we have 4 chutes, okay? We talked about this being a haulage route. This is what we're going to haul out of here. They go up about 200 feet. These are live. These aren't props. These hold tons and tons of rock behind here. So I'm not going to open one up because if it got going, we'd be buried, all right? Up above us, about 200 feet, it goes. It comes down like this. There's only one big, it's like a big chimney. It comes down, then it opens up and feathers open to the 4 chutes behind us. Behind me, there's a 15 by 15 room. It's got an angle on the back to help the rock make its way out once it comes down. Now, when it comes down, the guys that work this, they were called workers in the mines. These were their first job in here. These weren't miners yet. Okay, they were 15 years old. They would push these carts. These carts weighed 800 pounds. They would hold 2,000 pounds of rock, okay? How would they load it up? They'd put a breaker on right here. They'd open it up. They'd do it about 1/4 to 1/8 open to get the rock to come out. You never want to open it all the way or you're gonna be in a world of trouble. It's gonna bury you, okay? Now the rock that's coming out is similar to that first one I showed you about that size. How do they regulate that size? Up above they have what's called a grizzly. The grizzly is a big screen. It's got about 6 to 10 inch squares on it, okay? They're going to throw all the rock on it. Whatever doesn't come through, they got a group that's going to sledgehammer. They're doing that all day long. It's one of the jobs. They're knocking the rock through. Now, once all that rock gets coming through, what usually happens when you have a confined area with a bunch of rock? And the rock's wet, too. There's a lot of dust, so they're putting a lot of water in there. It's going to get jammed up, right? Let me show you how they fixed it. Real simple. Before you judge it, watch. Now, they took this chute bar right here. They would open up the chute behind me. They would climb inside. They would take this bar and they would jam it up and they would knock the rock loose. Pretty simple, right? But there was never an accident from doing it that way. That's a lie. There was plenty. I mean, that one every time I try to change that one up, and I love it. So they got to be real careful. But the preferred way of doing it was this: they would bring in the guys who were certified to use the dynamite. They'd take this dynamite, they'd put it up in there, and you'd hear a sound about like this loud. This is about what you. And you hear the rock coming again. Now, you're not going to ruin the integrity of the chutes with just a stick or two of dynamite. These chutes take a lot of, this is hard rock. I'm going to show you down here what it would take just to move 6 foot out. That's 160 sticks. We're only going to use 1 to get this moving right here. Now that we got it moving, we're going to need to get more carts out. And here come the mules, 1908 to 1931. The mules were able to pull 4 carts, okay? They were trained outside to listen for this. 4 chains, 4 carts, they'd stand up and move. Now, let me tell you something about these mules. Granted, anything underground was a tough job, whether you're a man or mule, but these men respected these mules. If you got caught doing anything wrong to these mules, any type of abuse, you were gone. No questions asked, no second chances, you were done. These mules were taken care of. They were treated as people. They had their own little stables. They had people take care of them. They had vets. In the book 7 Bells, it discussed about how clean these stables were. The stables were as clean as any dairy farm in America. And it resonates on me because my grandparents were dairy farmers. I'm from Iowa, and that they had to be spotless to keep the dairy clean. Okay, so they did take care of them. Granted, don't get me wrong, it was a tough job. All right, so the mules are pulling them out. Once they get what they call incentive mining into play, they start to try to get more carts out. So one day, one of the miners decides to see what's going on with the mule. So the 4 carts are hooked up. He tells his partner, "Look, what's this? The mule here's the 5th one of these." The mule stares at the miner stares back at the mule. The mule gives him one of these. Not pulling 5 carts. So, rumor has it, the mules started the term stubborn as a mule. And also, they started Bisbee's first underground union. 4 carts, that's it. The best rumor was one of the mules got out and talked to HR. That stopped it as well. So they were only pulling 4 carts out, okay? The mules worked for up to 5 years. Once the 5 years were up, they were decommissioned working animals. They were taken out and they were treated better. They were taken out. And their vision was kind of bad because they were in the dark all the time, so they put a patch on them. They took them out, they put them in the light and get their vision back. Once they did, people had signed up to take them in as non-working animals, as pets. And they did. These people took them in, same conditions, rules applied. You got caught doing anything wrong to these mules out there, you were going to pay, okay? The mules were going to be taken, and whatever the repercussions came after that. But so the mules were well taken care of once they got out as well. They never had to go back to work, okay? Now, what helped get the carts out next was similar. We came in on what's called a mansion motor. They're 40 volt. Now that 40 volt would pull 9 to 12 carts out at a time, all right? Once they would pull the carts, you got a light right there. Perfect, thank you. Yep. So they would pull the carts out. The fastest one they had would use this right above me. This is called a trolley line. This is a 240. Now one time when I reached up and grabbed this when I was talking, somebody raised their hand and they asked me if this line was live. I responded, if it was, this tour would be over. So this is not live. So what they would do out front, there's a trolley to the left. The trolley's got an orange boom on it. The orange boom would hit this, it would fire it up. The tracks would ground it with the wheels. Now that cart had some power, okay? That cart could pull almost 33-ton ore carts at 25 miles an hour.
Wow.
No brakes. It came with brakes, but once you used them the first time, pulling that kind of weight, if you didn't know what you were doing, they burn out. You know, imagine riding your brakes going down a hill where it's like, this is 30 tons, 90 tons behind you. So these guys had to know what they were doing with them. Now, once they were getting all this out, they were trying to work with them to get them more pay. So they did what they call incentive mining. To get that incentive mining done, you had to bring in undercounted managers or basically accountants. I don't know if anybody saw that little desk to the left when we were coming in. Yeah. That was a boss's desk or a shift boss's desk. These guys, what they would do is they would monitor the miner all day, who was working where, what they were doing, and how much they were getting out, what was their output, so they could get paid more. Now they were complaining about all the walking they were doing. They were riding on similar motors to that yellow one right there. It's called a mansion motor. They didn't get that. Instead, they got this sweet bike. This is a shift boss's bike. This was used underground. They would ride it around and they would do their tallies. Now, one thing they did on the bike to make it so it was easier to move, they put aluminum wheels on it instead of metal, so they could move it. But the biggest problem again relied with the old grouches. Little story from them. They were pulled in the room and they were told. They pointed out this bike and they told them with their finger waving at them, you see that bike? Don't touch that bike, leave it alone. And then they gave an old, you understand me speech. How do you think that went? Not good.
Not good.
So these guys took this bike, they vandalized it, they rode it, they hit it. And once in a while, just to have some fun, they'd slather it in axle grease. Oh. And after about 2 years of doing all that, the shift bosses came in. I will enjoy my walk. So this is not a prop, this was really used. Like I said, if you want to take any photos on the train, there's no battery in that, you'll be all right. The bike, get up there and take all the photos you'd like. If anybody does, just be careful. There's no chain on it. Now, if anybody's ever been on a bike with no chain and flipped the pedal back into your shin, we don't want to do that today. So, questions so far? Okay, let's take a walk down here then. Take a look at some drills and how they put the blast face in. Let me go on through here. Come on down, we got a little more room down here. Come on in.
Sono se sente menos que os fobos que tem por funcionar. ¿Lo sientes?
Come on down here. Check it out. Now, to walk by these drills real quick, I'm just going to make it The drills that are on the columns are column and arm drills. The red ones weigh about 450, the green one's about 330 pounds. This last one is from 1950, that's one that they use the most. Now, real quick on the drills. If you ever hear of anybody mention the name Widowmaker, what they mean is a drill that did not allow water to go through. In hard rock mining, if I was to run one of those drills where we're at today, for 10 minutes, we wouldn't be able to see anybody. That dust is so fine, it's called silica. The silica gets in your lungs, produces what they call silicosis. The average age of the miner that died from silicosis was 35 to 40 years old. So they had to tape it down real quick. They started running the bits, that water going in them. Water changed the game in underground mining, especially hard rock, kept the dust down. Now this last drill, this is from 1950. I've ran these, okay? They have a lot of power, but the thing that got me the most, I can run these things all day. I do a lot of maintenance here. The thing about it is that got me the most is the sound. The sound is deafening. And I only ran it for a little bit. These guys were running these things 10 hours a day, all right? Now, only men worked underground here in Bisbee. The women had just as vital of a role outside of the mine. They got paid the same, but they worked at admin and hospital. Now this drill has a jack stand on it, this jack stand. Men, you did not want to run it like this, and I'm only going to show it once. That explains itself. You want to have your foot behind it, you want to use this here to torque it into the wall about 100, give you 100 pounds of pressure in it. Now this throttle here will get this bit moving. This bit would spin it up to 1200 RPMs. Problem with this drill was they made some changes later. That drill's going to spin at the bit's going to spin at 1200 RPMs or the drill, one of the two. You lose control of that bit, and you want to hang on to this, you're going to start spinning with it. So you had to keep it under control. It got real dangerous if you didn't. You had to know your limits with this, and you had to run it accordingly. Now, almost every miner underground smoked. The one that didn't pushed this red cart, says explosives. He chewed. Go on down. Okay, folks, we're going to go over how we made these routes. Come on down this way. We're going to go over right behind me. Now, when you're working in the mine, whatever wall you're working on is called a face, okay? So, you got some room down here, come on in. Now, we're gonna be blasting here, so this is called a blast face. This is how we made this route, okay? To get in, to be able to take, this is how they did this to get the ore in and out. Once they would find these pockets of ore, sometimes they'd run into them, they'd have a route already established, but if not, they'd have to do what they call a crosscut or a haulage route. This is how we do it. The end game for this behind us is gonna be 6 to 7 feet deep, 7 to 8 feet wide, 7 to 8 feet high, and this is how it went down. We come to work. Let's say you and me are partners. We come in, we go to work. First thing we gotta do, we're gonna run in to 30 to 40 tons of already blasted rock from the previous crew that's doing the same thing. Why are we gonna move their rock? We gotta let the dust and the fumes settle, okay? We talked about that before. One of their solutions was stagger it between shifts, give it time to settle. Drench it, and then leave and let the next shift come in. Now, the fumes weren't so much fatal as they would cause a migraine. It's a horrible way to start your shift with a migraine, especially working underground where it's loud. So we come in, we're gonna move this rock. One thing I wanna remind you of, there's usually only 2 to 3 people working in each area. At any given time, there was 1,500 to 2,000 people working underground, 24/7, all the time here in Bisbee, peak years, 1917 to 1928. But at any time, there was 5,000 people employed, give or take, 1,500 to 2,000 working underground. There's hundreds of these blasts going off every day. We only want a few people in each area in case something goes bad. You don't want to have a bunch of people underground if something caves in. You can move quicker, you can get out of the way, plus you just didn't want any catastrophes to happen with a group underground. The worst catastrophe they had in Bisbee was 6, was over at the open pit. Some dynamite went off early and killed 6 people. About 400 total died over all the years of mining here in Bisbee. According to the guys who worked here, 1 was too many, I agree. Now, we're gonna move our rock. We know this pattern behind it is gonna have 25 holes. We're gonna order 160 sticks of dynamite for this particular blast face, okay? Now, the 25 holes. Everything about this starts in the center. I consider it what I call path of least resistance. We're not trying to go up, we're not trying to go down, we're trying to go in. What we need to do, we need to start in the center. These are gonna be our first holes. We're gonna drill. We're gonna grab one of those drills, we're gonna do what they call collar in the hole. By collar in the hole, it means you started it. Okay, you're gonna have about a 3-foot bit on that drill. The end game is gonna be a 7-foot bit. It's too hard to have a 7-foot bit and start these holes. It's just too long. Now, we're gonna start in the center. The center's called a 5-hole burn. The center one's gonna get the dynamite. These 4 are gonna remain empty. This is where everything begins, okay? This is what starts my whole path of least resistance. This is gonna get 6 sticks of dynamite. First stick's gonna go in with the fuse on it. The fuses are gonna come in 12-foot lengths. We're gonna cut them to 9 for this particular blast. Here's how we're gonna do it. Now, we got the first stick in, we're gonna put 5 more in, we get 6 total. We're gonna tap it in just like this. We're barely gonna push. We wanna get them stuck together. We don't need to smash it in. We wanna keep the integrity of the length. So now, question. Why am I gonna use a wood stick to tamp that in instead of a metal rod?
No spark.
No spark. What's a spark gonna do to 6 sticks of dynamite?
Last.
That's gonna be worse than my 240 that hit me over there. Okay, great answer. Now we got it in. We're gonna do that to every hole on here except the bottom. The bottom is gonna be known as my lifters. They're gonna get 8 sticks. That's gonna be the last row to blast, because that's gonna flip my pile out once all this comes down. Now, how are we gonna orchestrate this so it works out? We're not gonna set it up so all these go off at the same time. We wanna stagger every explosion. We do not want them all to go off simultaneously. We want to stagger. Here's how we're gonna do it. The first row, the first one's gonna be in the center, okay? That's gonna be our first blast. When it does blast, it's gonna make a hole about that big. It's gonna open up the path of least resistance, so everything caves in, or explodes in, implodes, not explodes. Like I said, we're not going up or down, we're going in. Now, this little board right here is what sets it off. And this is an ingenious little invention they made. It's called a splitter board. It's usually a lot longer, okay? But it's gonna work for our demonstration. This is gonna help us stagger. By doing that, we're gonna have the middle. Every fuse on the right-hand side is gonna be a 1/2 inch. Everything on this side is always a 1/2 inch. Behind it is where I make my adjustments to stagger my explosions. My next one is gonna be here. Because when I do these, I wanna start in the center, then I wanna go here, like this. I wanna make my way out. So every time it blasts, it comes down. It's gonna bounce off what's still up and push down to the path of least resistance, which is already opened up from our previous explosion. Now, my next one, I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna stay a 1/2 inch out on this side, but the back is where all the changes are made. This one here is my shortest one of all of them, and then the next one is gonna be a 1/2 inch longer than this one, okay? I want this one to go third. I'm gonna put it through. Again, I'm keeping the same length on this side of the board. The back side, I'm gonna add a 1/2 inch to the length of this one. I'm gonna do the same over here. I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna keep a 1/2 inch out here. I'm gonna add a 1/2 inch to this length. Does everybody see what we're doing here? That 1/2 inch is gonna add me a 1/2 a second between each explosion. It's gonna do exactly what I want it to do. It's gonna go off in staggered explosions. Okay, so on this side of the board, it's always a 1/2 inch, and this one, it's a 1/2 inch longer than the previous one. None of these are the same length. Everyone's a 1/2 inch longer. I'm gonna keep spiraling it out like this, so when it blasts down, it's gonna come in. My last row, though, is the only row that's gonna be a little different, because it's gonna get the 8 sticks. It's gonna be called my lifters. I'm gonna use just a little slight angle on my drilling in. All these holes go back 6 to 7 feet, okay? Now, after all this is down, that's gonna blast and flip it out. Okay, we got all these lined up. What do we do next? We need to light them. So we don't want to use a regular lighter. A regular lighter doesn't burn hot enough. It isn't going to get them lit right. So we're going to use a manganese stick. This stick's going to be about 1200 degrees. It's going to light them. It's going to go here. And like I said, it's about this long. And it's, as soon as you run that across it, you're going to start here and go on up. It's going to light them like that, because this is 1200 degrees. It's hot. It's going to get all these lit. Now, once they're lit, we're going to go ahead and walk around each direction. About as far away the train is on each side, 20 to 30 yards. One of the biggest things we're going to do is we're going to make sure nobody walks down here. They're doing hundreds of these underground, but I need to make sure nobody comes in here when I'm blasting. I got to keep it safe. Once we're waiting, we're going to sit. Once we start hearing this, we know they're off. As soon as you hear that first one, you immediately open your mouth. You don't want to, because if not, your ears are going to pop. They're going to pop really hard because of the explosions. Now, we're going to start listening, and we're going to start counting every one of these. We're going to get back together, and we're going to exchange numbers on how many we counted. For the sake of this discussion, we're going to come up too short. He had 25. I'm going to say 23. Now, excuse me, because of that, we have to do what's called a missed board, missed hole. This missed hole board is basically a misfire board. We need to document it, and we need to find it. How are we going to find it? We're going to drench this pile with water, and then we're going to start looking. We cannot leave this here with any type of danger involved, and that dynamite being in their lives means we got to get it out. We need to leave it as safe as it was when we showed up to work. Now, once we find it, we're going to decommission it and get it out, and we can get back to work on keeping it safe around here. What we're going to do to finish up, we're going to do what they call barring down. Now, the person that does this is called a sounder. He's listening for a particular sound, and that's a hollow sound. When you're tapping hard rock, you let gravity do the work. You don't need to get in there and pry it out. You don't want to force anything out. You just want it to come down naturally, because that'll take care of all the loose rock by itself from gravity. You start tapping. Now, I've done that before with my partner, and you start hearing a crack, you jump back, and I've seen a piece as large as a refrigerator fall down. And one of them was right here. Just kidding. So, but it does, it'll come down, you just listen for a particular sound, and once it comes down, you'll, I mean, once you get used to listening for it, it's a distinct sound, it's hollow, and let gravity do its work. Okay, anybody have any questions on the blast face? Everybody see kind of the concept of how that works? Now they're doing these, they did it, that's how they made all these routes. Now, when they want to go higher, they want to go bigger, you can use different setups. It's all based around the same pattern, okay? Depending on how they want to do it. Now let's go ahead and go this way and take a look. You want to take the kids around there and ring that bell for us?
Así era como
Go around the corner here, right over here, you're gonna go in the corner, you're gonna see a bell with a yellow rope. Go ahead and start. Go ahead, take them over there and go ahead and cut that rope. Pull it straight down. Straight down, oh, I'm sorry, I got you, sorry about that.
You have to come
Pull
on.
it straight down, it'll pop. There you go, perfect. Now that bell controls this elevator. Get another ring, go ahead, bring it up a couple times. You got it. Perfect. Good job. Now, there's one of those bells. Do you guys want to ring it?
Can I ring it, Leo?
You want to ring it? Come on over. Ring that bell. You got it. Here, let me help you here. Ready? Ready? Pull it straight down. There we go. One more time. Good job. Good work. All right. Now, there's one of these bells on every level. They're following this sign right here. The sign's going to tell you where to send that elevator. Fun fact about the elevator. It was fun riding up. Not so fun riding down. You know why? How do you think it came down?
Gravity.
Gravity. Reached speeds up to 17 miles an hour. Ooh, 11 men on that cart. And that one, I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of injuries. Let's take a look over here at something real quick. Now back here we got a couple more ore carts. Now you notice the wood back here. The wood back here is pine and fir. They're not gonna use oak. Oak is stronger, but the problem with oak is you're standing underneath it, you don't know what's up above you. Last thing you hear before your last breath is crack. This wood here makes a noise, it's got elasticity to it. The miners had a saying, if this wood's talking, start walking. And it saved a lot of lives. But I'm gonna bring us to our final item before we move up the street, the toilet. Now this toilet here, people ask me all the time, Andy, why 2 seats? My answer is, I don't know. Right and left-handed, works for me. One of the pranks they used to play on the new guys, if they sat up there too long, they'd walk by with a little black powder and a spark and give it a little toss, right to the hole. That'd move them out real quick. Now the one thing I do know about this toilet, and I was told directly from my old grouchy friends, that whoever had to clean it considered it a pretty crappy job. All right, that's right. They got paid by the ton. So if anybody wants to get up here and take any photos before we go, feel free. Want to climb up, take some pictures? Come on up. Here we go. I've had couples take photos on here for their honeymoon pictures and all kinds of good stuff. But these are not working toilets. I did have to explain to a young man a few months ago. No? Anybody want to come up for a? There we go. This is how it starts. It's a gateway. You want to both get up there?
That's all right. We're not together after this.
Yeah. This isn't the honeymoon photo. This is the opposite. I want to use it.
I hope it's clean.
It's clean. Yeah. So like I said, the guys that work here always joke around about it. One of the jokes real quick before we go, one of my buddies, Neil, works underground. And we were driving, and I keep in touch with these guys all the time. And he says, look to your right. And I said, when he stops, he says, he's all mad. And I said, what are you know, not mad, but he's, look. So it's a beautifully groomed yard, beautiful. Flowers, grass. And right in the middle of it is one of these. But not just one of these, a beautiful one. Pink, yellow, beautiful flowers growing out of every hole. And Neil's like, hey, I would have liked it if they just kept it as it was. These guys were proud, So he said they beautified it, but it was just kind of funny how he took, he was having fun with it. He wasn't really mad about it. Just how much important it was for him to keep the history of it as it was, instead of making it into a nice crown jewel of this yard. So. Okay, folks, let's go ahead and head back up to the train. The other group, we're going to get on their train. We're going to head this way. Just walk right between them. We're going to go down to a stove. Now down there, we're going to see some magnificent color, and we're going to see where the copper came from. So let's go ahead and head this way. We'll head up the street to the stove. You got it.
Come on, baby.
Okay.
We're going back to the train. Huh? Yep. How do you feel going on these mine tours, Sophia? Huh? sin mano enfrente, baby? Sí. O para que vayas agarrando espacio. Excuse me. Ahí enfrente.
Just getting better.
The next shift is here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here to take over for you there.
Yep.
buddy. Absolutely. Good game. Good game.
It does feel like that.
Hey. Digo que ya llega el siguiente turno.
Mommy, does it feel like that?
Ok. Súbete enfrente, baby. Diego. Ya. Súbete enfrente. Diego. Ahí ando. ¿Sí?
Pero va una persona más también.
Pues sí, sí cabemos.
Can I go in front?
It's Sophia's turn, okay?
A ver, ¿te puedes llevar esta? A ver, súbete. Diego, súbete, mi amor, para poderme subir.
Sorry.
It's okay.
A
We
ver,
have room for a little kid back here. There we go.
Diego.
Or you can sit here.
Ya. Mi amor, súbete, amor. Que se sube enfrente, Diego enfrente de ti para que lo pueda ver. Sofía, es que no puedes.
I'll hold you.
Ahí vamos a subir, Diego. Bueno. Ahí está.
You hugged me. You were literally
Yeah, Diego.
Sophia.
Feeling back there just a light.
That's all right.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah, the
Great tour.
next stop's going to be a lot different.
Yeah, how much is it for?
Wow.
That's
Did you say you work?
No. I've just been here for quite a while with safety and maintenance. And then I've got
Sí, entonces la
these guys real well.
The ones that actually.
1970.
Tango free.
Like I said,
You like the fullness, Diego?
Okay.
I love it. I don't like it.
I got to know these guys in your store.
Okay, Sophia?
Ask me, I've been doing tours for quite a while, but I've my dad stuff. I'll just tell you a story. Did you got it?
Pues porque esa es la luz de ellos.
Yeah, a lot of it is. You can tell some of it we replaced during COVID, like right here along the routes of the tour. We got it taken care of during COVID because we couldn't let people in. So,
Thank you.
so that helped us quite a bit because we didn't want to have to replace that. But a lot of it was preventive. It wasn't that something caved in or it was anything, but just getting ahead of the game.
When you were talking about would that be like 3 guys' job? Two guys'
For
job?
their shift. Yep. But they're doing hundreds of those all over every day. Yeah. Okay, folks, we're gonna head up to the stove. Ready?
There's no bathroom here, baby.
the other train coming.
Oh.
Oh, watch out. Okay, folks. Now go ahead and come off the train and follow me up here. We got 36 steps. You're not able to. My partner will stay down here with me, but hopefully we can make it up.
I don't think I'm fine.
De ese lado, tío. De ese lado, mi amor.
This way, baby.
You're on the wrong side, baby. Oh my gosh, you're on the wrong side.
Mande.
¿En serio? Te pareces al Rumble.
Papá, mira.
El
Papá,
Rumble.
mira.
Sí. Está cerrado. Oh, Sofía, let's go.
Wait, in. Ay,
Let's go. Camina, camina. I know, sí, camina. Follow mommy. Follow mommy. Yeah. Ya. No, era un otro señor. Vente, Diego. Vamos a subir aquí. Vamos a dejarlo. ¿Eh? ¿Dónde? ¿Qué pasó? Es frío. ¿Ya? Ahorita se va a quitar el frío con esa subida. Yeah, first aid and water. There's water in there. There's 36 steps.
30? Oh, just like the last tour?
Yeah.
These are pretty gradual.
¿Te gusta los hand... May, ¿te gusta el banister que es de fierro?
Sí.
Fuerte, hurry up. Mira. Wow. Fuerte. Because you're looking up, that's why. Pero ya no vamos a salir. Ya, camina. Ya, come on.
That there is known as a raised miner.
No, no, no.
Okay? The raised miner up there is the highest paid
Yeah.
job they had here. He made 35 cents an hour. His job was on shift, off shift. The only one that was like
Yeah,
that,
mira.
but it's staggered. Because it was the most
Look.
dangerous job there was. His job was to go straight
I
up
hate
5 feet a day, minimum. The end game was to go between the 100 feet levels to what they call a raise, so they could raise stuff up and down, straight up and down, so they could instead of having to wind their way through to get there. Let me close this door right there. Okay, where would they call a stope? Okay, this is not a cave. This was not found like this.
Mira.
Stope
Look,
means
there's someone over there.
mined or being mined.
Mira.
Now, this particular stope was found in the 1880s, okay? They pulled 10,000 tons of ore out of here in a 4-year period. Let me go over real quick what went down. Right here, you're gonna see this little opening. They came through here. Right there, I'm flashing. They thought they were gonna find silver, they found this. Right there is your copper. Now, this whole stope was full of it. The rumor was it came in between 20 and 23%. They kept taking it out. The only reason that this limestone is still in here is because that's where the copper ore body ended. They would peel it back until they'd start hitting lime again. Now, you can still see some up around here and up here. Now, if you want to see a really cool bluish kind of copper, you go up in here and you look right down in here. You can see it right back up in there.
Oh, okay.
It's really pretty color back there, excuse me.
So this
Now, go ahead.
this one looks like the good enough mine. How they picked it.
Okay, let me show you how they
Yeah.
took it out of here. Okay, folks, now remember, this is 1880s.
Okay.
2 men come to work. They got 3 candles apiece, a total of 6 candles. All right? So they come in. Here's what they're gonna do.
Lo que hicieron.
They don't have any pneumatic tools now. They got these. Okay? They come in. They're gonna put it in here. They're gonna hit and turn, hit and turn. This is a candlelight. That's all they got. 6 candles. Once it gets going, we got our next stage here. Somebody come on up. Mark, give me a hand. Come on up.
Le digo.
Go there.
Go.
Now, we're gonna put this here, take this hand, grab it like that. Right here, let go. Right there, now stand back. Okay, now, I'm gonna get out my new hammer. Okay. You ready? Now, my job here, I'm called the striker. My partner is gonna be my shaker. The shaker's gonna hold this and not let go. I'm gonna hit this as hard as I can, 20 to 30 times a minute. It's almost pitch black. You ready? You got it? Okay, every time I hit it, you're gonna turn a little bit. Ready? Go ahead and turn it. There we go.
Good job.
2 more times. Perfect. 1 more. All right, perfect. Let's give our shaker a round of applause. Thanks for helping.
Good job, Aaron.
Now, one of the stories about that job. Some of the groups, the duos that came in to do it were father and son. Can you imagine that dinner table when somebody missed? Not good. Believe it or not, there's a lot of broken collarbones because you're hitting in the dark. There's a lot of injuries from doing that job. Now, when they worked in these stopes, like I said, they were pulling it out of here. This particular stope took out 10,000 tons in 4 years. This is what they also used in the stopes right here. These are called square sets, okay? The end game is the photo right there to almost make it like it stacks up. What they would do is they would use this to protect it from above. This wall right here is where they would pull it out at. They'd put about 30 holes in there, they'd blast it and move it out. Blast it, move it out. Once they ored it out, they'd fill in the square part of it, and they'd use these hangers, they'd build another one and another one and another one until it looked like this. They'd always fill in the one that they were done with the rock to help keep it stable. Now, speaking of these stopes, the largest stope in the Bisbee mining area is nicknamed the ballpark. That one alone will hold a professional football stadium. It's that big. 1.2 million tons they took out of that one. It's a little farther north. We've talked about trying to get to it. It'd be a 14-hour trip, round trip to get there and back, even if the tunnels were even able to go through them. So it's not really something we've been able to do. We're pushing for it, but it would be a long, long day. And you'd have to go with the guide that really knows these mines, because once you get in there, if you get lost, I've been in a lot of areas, you have to know what you're doing. Now, some of these other areas here that we see, these weren't so much for the copper, they were called exploratory tunnels. They were trying to find more copper because this was such an ore-rich pocket that they found. Back in the day, they relied on a lot of luck, believe it or not. When miners, when people, ordinary people would stake a claim, they would base it off of this. People started spreading the word that when you saw color on rock, it meant minerals. Minerals meant money. So people would just start seeing colored rock and staking claims to it. That's one of the ways that the copper came about, the green on the rock. You weren't following veins, but when you did hit a pocket of this, you hit it big. These were gigantic ore pockets, okay? Ore bodies or blobs of copper. And it went everywhere. This one behind that up there is that, you peel that up, start peeling that off up there, it's just limestone right behind it. Now this is kind of a cool little photo, little bit of mineral right here. Right here on the bottom, we got our iron oxide. You bust up a ton of that, you can get an 1/8 to 1/4 ounce of gold. In the middle is going to be a little bit more copper. And around the outside is going to be some calcite. And like I said, around in here you can see a lot of iron, you can see a lot of sparkle to it. That's going to be your calcite or your quartz. So like I said, there's a lot more color in here. The only reason that column right there is still saved is because the copper went around it. Any questions on the stope? Now the open pit, real quick, the open pit started just like this, all underground. They opened it up in about 1950. They started doing some open pit mining in 1917. They called it the Sacramento pit. Then they opened up the Lavender, which was similar to this. Then they opened it up. Instead of 100 feet between each level, you got 50-foot steps that come down. They mined that one out. 1975, they quit mining here in Bisbee because the war effort had ended. When the war effort had ended, the economy tanked. It wasn't viable to keep pulling the copper out of here to pay the employees, and also it was about mine down. Okay, so that's kind of was it when it ended. It ended here in 75. The open pit ended in 74. So, any questions? Okay then, folks. I want to thank you all for coming today. I hope you enjoyed our little underground tour. I hope we had a little fun along the way. Got to look at some fun things and how things were blasted out to make the route in. Also where the copper came from. I want to thank you all for coming. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed our little tour, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, when we go downstairs, Keith's going to have a little bucket. If you could please take off the little red pins, that tags they gave when we came in, and put them in the bucket. We'll go ahead and get back on the train. We'll get back to the surface. And again, have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you. Thank you. You bet. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Appreciate your knowledge.
Yep, thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I'd be a grouchy. I'd be one of you.
Grouch?
Yeah, I'd be the old grouch.
You got it. Thank you.
Well, I am now in the RV world. Think about it, 35 years. I think I've done every job there is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I am the old grouch in the corner. But I always tell people, when I first started this, doing RVs,
Okay.
I wanted to know what that old guy knew in the corner. I wanted to be just like him. Now I am. I'm the old guy grouching in the corner.
A ver. Sofía, Diego.
I'm really surprised.
Sofía,
how
Diego.
much wind is out
Diego, ven.
there.
Ven. Okay, vamos. ¿Quién dice enfrente? ¿Otra vez?
Thank you, sir.
O bueno.
No, enfrente para bajar primero.
Jim, we're right here.
Me gusta me poner enfrente.
Hey.
¿Qué tal, güey? ¿Cómo se te hizo?
Are you okay, baby?
You go back or am I gonna go back?
¿Qué?
It's
Sore.
Sorry. No, Jim, it's over. I don't rock the boat, baby.
Ya, ahí está la salida, ya nos van a dar el soporte ya. Ok.
I went this way.
¿Qué propósito? ¿Por qué no me sale?
Are you guys downstairs?
Good fucking tag.
Turn it off.
You did one.
I did.
it might be fun to get a close
Quédate
up.
en un lado.
But it might be fun to get a close up view. Like what? You want to sit there? Something small.
Okay, folks, real quick, on behalf of my partner Keith and I, we again want to thank you for coming. We appreciate you coming in, taking time for our tour. Thank you. Also, let's thank Keith for helping keeping us safe. Okay, folks, now when we get out, we're going to go inside, we're going to go in the reverse direction. We're going to take off our lamp, we're going to set it over here.
No,
You're
that's-
still walking the backside that you came on to get your helmets. We're just going to do it in reverse. We're going to do our lamps first. Take off your vest, there's little nails, hang them on the nails. They come to the end where I was before, hand me your helmet, and then have you all ready to go. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you. You betcha. That's a good picture there. With the light, it looked good.
Yeah.
Okay, you all set?
Yes.
All right.
Ready to see.
You ready?
Ready.
All right.
We're going back to work.
Yep.
Ooh, that's very bright.
There we go.
Esa película.
Sí.
La salida. together.
Figure it.
Okay, folks, go ahead and follow me in this side door. We'll go ahead and get rid of our equipment. Have a great rest of your day.
Let's go.
Don't fall,
You
okay?
guys have fun?
I'm back in the
Yeah? Nice.
¿Qué dice?
I'm back in the surface safe.
Papa, Mama.
Mande.
The old man. I don't want to work on the day.
So my hand. Sorry for the.
¿Te pegaste en el diente? ¿Haz así?
Mommy, smell my.
A ver.
How that person.
¿No se le han caído esos dientes ahí, verdad?
Mama, how that I fell and it's like it's a little molecule.